And now a real crisis for San Francisco. It was big news here this morning. The AIDS epidemic, said the headlines, is spreading so rapidly that it threatens to overwhelm San Francisco's financial ability to deal with it. Some information from our fact file. There are more cases of AIDS among gay men here than anywhere else in the country. Some doctors believe that 50% of the gay population is walking around with the AIDS virus. At least 15,000 men are expected to die in the next 4 years. Years ago, San Franciscans called it the Summer of Love. From all across the country in the 1960s, thousands of young people came here to protest the war in Vietnam and bend their minds with LSD. They were the Flower Children, and they invented acid rock. When Vietnam was over in the mid-1970s, the Flower Children faded, and the gays arrived. Dr. David Smith has run the Haight-Ashbury Free Medical Clinic since 1967.
It's unfortunate and ironical that we've gone from Make Love Not War and the Flower Children of the 60s to AIDS in the 80s. And there were more people died from AIDS last year in the city of San Francisco that died from heart disease.
Gay men came to San Francisco because their behavior was socially unacceptable elsewhere. In San Francisco, thousands of gays could finally step out of the closet.
San Francisco has a long, long tradition from its very founding in the gold rush of being a really cosmopolitan, really free and tolerant place. I think gay people felt both they could be free sexually and be free socially as well, that they had a better chance of being accepted here.
Today, more than 100,000 men live and work under the gay power flag. They do not live their social lives behind closed doors. Their social behavior. It was the wanton social life of the 1970s which led directly to this crisis. Estimates of 70 different sexual partners then for one man in less than a week.
5 years ago, 10 years ago, there was what gay people call the, candy store. There was just lots of sex.
Jim Peters will die of AIDS. We met him on the AIDS ward at San Francisco's General Hospital.
This is the best ward in the hospital, and it's probably the best ward in the nation. Like I said, the nurses are all volunteer assignments, and you get that feeling, they want to be here to help people, and particularly AIDS patients.
Nowhere is the problem more severe than at San Francisco General. There are more AIDS patients here than at any other facility in the city. 16,000 AIDS visits last year, 32,000 expected this year.
It causes an enormous stress. The requirements of the healthcare system are being tested, and I think the frightening prospect is that we think the majority of people infected will go on to get disease. And we're just now trying to plan for the next few years. It's not a good prospect.
For all the AIDS victims, the city is the provider of last resort.
We simply are coming on a situation rapidly where expecting the local tax base to handle a disaster of this intensity is just not feasible, and we need outside help.
The people and the system are clearly overburdened, and the worst may be yet to come.
I somehow always knew I was gay, and to not act on that would be some sort of inner suicide, I think.
San Francisco has one particular thing going for it. It has a very caring environment. Those who have been so tolerant of gays in life and love are extremely supportive on the road to death. We'll be back in just a moment.